All right, back with another crazy day. Tim Sykes here. I gotta give props to my top student, Tim Grattani. I posted a video of him yesterday, how he made 60,000 plus in one day, but now he is back today with a great tweet about how 99% of these small caps, if you buy into the story, you are naive. It doesn't matter if it's OTC or listed, don't be a sucker. Those of you who read my best-selling book, An American Hedge Fund, you know that my biggest loss was when I believed in a company, my best friend's dad's company, which basically invented print at home ticketing. I was right about the technology, I was wrong about the company, and I lost several $100,000. So don't do that. That said, definitely do ride the momentum of these stocks that are spiking crazier than I can remember any time recently in the past few years. I got to give props to so many students today. Tomer, awesome job on EYES, in the low fours, out in the high fours. I'll get to all of these stocks in a second, but first I got to give props to students. Keith, first profit over $100. Woodtick made 1,200. Caesar, you get a follow because you made 238 on CCXI. Jimmy, biggest profit day of 400. He's been studying night and day. Joseph A, you get a follow because you nailed JAGX, and he's growing a small account, which is great. Omar made nearly $1,000. Here is Stocks to Trade, which is my software for stock scanning, and we got this cool screenshot of Midnight Trader getting in JAGX, in at 250, out at 290, made 640 bucks, and I believe this is all in a few minutes, as we'll go over in a second. Vincent, you also get a follow because you made $200 your first week trading, and you owe it to my How to Make Millions DVD, my chat room, and Tim Alerts. Thank you. You owe it to yourself, Vincent. All I can do is teach rules and patterns. You did this, so I appreciate the thanks, but thank you for being so dedicated. Here's Mark. You get a follow too. You're up 400 in your small account. And then James also gets a follow because he nailed JAGX in at 235, out at 330. Let's talk about it. JAGX was a big spiker today. It could not hold on to its gains, so you had to be quick, and that is why Stocks to Trade, really helps. I missed it. It didn't matter. Even if I had done an alert, it would have been too late. STAF was another morning spiker of $1 a share. BLPH was another big spiker. I actually was trying to short this one because this one is just crazy from the twos to the fours. And frankly, this is very similar to BLIN, which was yesterday. Yesterday had the big spike, and I nailed the short in the high twos at around 275-ish. It's down all the way down to $1. So, like Tim Grattani said, don't believe these companies and their stories. Don't just hold and hope. Definitely ride them, though. So these are just some of the plays. TPLM was a big spiker at the end of the day today from 40 cents up to 70 cents. Very similar to OREX yesterday from 40 cents or 50 cents to 70 cents. And I warned everyone to sell into this. And people are like, why are you warning? You're such a party pooper. It's going to keep spiking $1 a share tomorrow. And then it comes right back down to 50 cents. So do not believe these spikes. Go in with a plan, go in with a goal. But for me, I want to only buy stocks that actually have if not legitimate, long-term potential, but at least they have some catalyst. And that's why I was buying EYES in the low fours. It had already spiked. So I don't necessarily want to buy stocks that spike initially. I want to piggyback existing spikes. So when I'm buying this, at around 410, it's because it's already spiked from the 370s. This spike was due to a Fox News report. EYES has this kind of revolutionary product where you can make blind people see again. It's not as simple as that. There's a whole bunch of, details that are probably going to make them unsuccessful in the long run. But for the time being, it's a very popular product for the media. And so if you go to Fox News and you see this article about EYES, there's basically a blind guy, and he is using EYES's product, and now he can see. Not perfectly. He's kind of like, what was that blind guy in Star Trek? Or Cyclops in X-Men. He's kind of like that. So it's not perfect, and he doesn't have like the superpowers, but it's something that the media can pick up on. And so this is what's interesting about this stock. Here's the chart. It's actually a nice breakout above the resistance here at 425. and it has had two big green days in the past, So all I'm going for, I would love another green day here. I don't know if it's going to get there, but it's done it in the past. But here is a little text message conversation I had with my boy Tim Bowen. He's actually helping out with stocks to trade. And so he was like, how do you respond to all these like messages? I'm like, I go on the bike for an hour a day and I catch up on the past few hours of messages. And I'm always like behind. But, he tweeted from stocks to trade, or he Instagrammed. Let me actually show you his post. Instagram stocks to trade. He posted this and he said, EYES up on very positive news and held support, now moving up into the close. Very similar to Timothy Sykes's stocks to trade news scan on EKSO that netted him 70K. So Tim Bowen, and you don't have to be named Tim to be successful. It's a total coincidence that I'm named Tim. Tim Bowen is Tim. Tim Grattani is Tim. I have other students like Michael Good. He's not a Tim. But Tim Bowen was on this yacht with me a little while back. I treated 6 of my trading challenge students to this ridiculous yacht in the British Virgin Islands, and we did some trades, and I made $70,000 on it, and it was on EKSO because there was an article specifically about how EKSO could make people walk again. And that article was, kind of like this miracle product. EKSO has since almost entirely failed. Is it under $1 a share? No, they did a reverse split. It should be under $1 a share. Yeah, I mean, EKSO, we're talking, wow, has it been more than 3 years? It was right here in 2.5 years ago, where the stock, it never went to 55. This company did a reverse split. So I think they probably did a 1-for-7 reverse split because the highest it got was like $8 a share. But I was buying it at $5 a share on news of the miracle, and CNET was spreading it. And even though it didn't pan out eventually, it worked very well, and I made 70 grand on that yacht. If I had held it, another, I guess, hour, it could have been like 150 grand. But if you can make 70 grand, you take it. I don't mind selling too soon. So that little conversation that I had, where was it? Did I just delete it? Here is the conversation I had. And he said, haha, that's funny as hell. I swear to God, I did not see your alert. I'm buying EYES. I just saw it and thought it looked like EKSO. Might as well tweet, Instagram it out, hand on the Bible. And I was like, yeah, talk about it. That's funny. And he's like, as soon as I saw the dude in the funky robotic glasses, I was like, fucking EKSO all over again. I guess I should show what the Fox story is. Where was my alert? Here was my actual alert. And I said, bought this recent runner on this Fox News story. And it reminds me of EKSO. And if you click on the Fox News story, here is the guy with the funky glasses, as Tim Bowen says. There's his funky glasses. And it was like, the title is not these cats, but Blind Man Sees Again. So you have a very positive news article. This came out in the middle of the day on EYES. And, even though EYES has been coming down, this is a very positive development, where this can have legs, no pun intended, with EKSO, and this could keep running up. And so now it's really not surprising that it keeps going, especially in this hot market. So the reason why I led with that Tim Grattani tweet is do not believe in EYES's product. Do not believe that they're going to cure blindness, but do, ride the momentum. And I should also mention another one of my students. Sorry, that was a book that I'm working on too. You're seeing all sorts of things. There are way too many things going on. Another one of my students, Mark Crook, who has made, I think, like $550,000 now. And he's watched all of my video lessons 3 times, but he also moderates my challenge chat room. Many of you guys don't realize it. We actually have 2 chat rooms. One chat room, which has over 1,000 traders, but then the challenge chat room, which is more Q&A, We have Mark Crook giving exclusive, video lessons and help and stuff like that. First, I got to give props to some students here. SCS Soccer made 85 bucks in 10 minutes. And he actually thanked Mark Crook for the heads up, because Mark Crook also gives live webinars to my challenge students. You can kind of begin to see why we're so disorganized, and I fucking love it because we have so much going on. It's not just me teaching. While I was doing nothing, Mark Crook was actually giving a midday webinar to challenge students, and Mark Crook highlighted EYES. So rightfully so, SCS Soccer is thanking Mark Crook, not me, for the alert, because Mark Crook discovered it. Here's Dookie. He actually made a nice 50% on TPLM. Major Hitman made 200. Seth made nearly 50 cents a share. Woodtick made the 1200. Noah made 725 bucks, and he says thanks for the alert, Mark and Tim. And then the Salama nailed TPLM repeat of OREX. So the reason why I wanted to show you all of this is because whether it's me or Mark Crook or Tim Bowen, we're all seeing the same exact patterns. Tim Bowen and I remember on that $12 million yacht, the EKSO article, and how it kept going the next day. And Mark Crook, recognized EYES. So he bought it at 2:41 p.m. Eastern. What time was mine? Mine was after that. Mine was like around 3:30. Why can't I go back? Ugh, stupid Fox News. So yeah, I was buying it at 3:40 because frankly, I had just gotten back. Some people think, oh, you're trying to buy it into the close. I mean, if I had gotten back at like 3:15 or 3:20, I would have bought it earlier. I just have this crazy life. And it's kind of cool that my students are seeing it before me. So Mark Crook, in nearly an hour before I bought it, and we got pretty much the exact same price, so it didn't really matter. But Mark Crook spotted it and he said, up on article that blind man is now seeing because of EYES. EYES is a former runner with a good catalyst, so decent risk reward. Then he added some at 3:02 p.m. Then at 3:07 p.m. This is all in the challenge chat room. So if you're only in the Tim Alerts chat room, you don't see this. But the challenge chat room, he says, I'm lucky maybe EYES puts out a PR about the story. Also 30% of the 13 million float is short, so that could be a nice catalyst. All in all, solid risk reward. Evaluate before every trade. And then when I bought, he's commenting, he's like, this was a classic setup that Tim's teaches. Mark tells me, I want to see challenge students spotting before both of us. Mark reminds everyone that there's 4 million shares that are short. That's a nice catalyst. Former runner, nice fresh hype article. And I couldn't agree more. Tim Bowen gets it. He posted totally independently on Instagram about this, very similar pattern. Mark Crook, totally independently of me, posted about this. And when I bought it, I was just getting home. I didn't even see what Tim Bowen or Mark Crook had said. So the point of all of this is that we're looking at patterns that we know, and it's not random. When you see a hype article with a stock that's a former runner in this hot market that has a lot of shares that are short, this is a classic setup. And I'm working on a guide right now that will explain this in a more organized, comprehensive manner. But I wanted to explain it to you with all of these chat room messages and tweets and the chart. And this is, this looks like gibberish to people who don't trade. But to those of us who have been studying and trading this niche for years, this is bread and butter. This is so freaking simple, it is scary. And as Mark said right here, I want to see challenge students spotting before both of us. That is the key to my teaching. That is why I've been a successful teacher. That's why I have more millionaire students than anyone. That's why I believe my trading challenge is the single greatest educational tool that you can have. And that's probably why we keep creating millionaires from the trading challenge. And now those millionaires and close to millionaires are now teaching. It's all about you guys spotting these patterns on your own before it happens, before other people see it. I'm up I don't know, like roughly like 2 grand on my EYES. Remember, I'm trading with a small account. Mark, what did he do? Uh, he bought 3,500 and then he added some. So he's probably long like 5,000 shares would be my guess. And he's up like 4 grand. But whether you're up 2 grand or 4 grand, or you profit 725 bucks like Noah, these are the patterns that you need to learn. And it helps when you have repetition. So a lot of you guys, you're just starting. It's about spotting the patterns, learning to spot the patterns, and then seeing the patterns multiple times. And every time you see it again and again, it'll get easier. It's I love this. I had to post this whole text message conversation. And he's like, I swear to God, I did not see your alert. Tim Bowen doesn't even follow my alerts. None of my most successful traders even follow my alerts. They're all self-sufficient. And he saw the exact same thing that Mark Crook saw, the exact same thing that I saw, and we were all dead on right. And so far, it's roughly a 20% winner. So think like this. Don't follow anybody's alerts, but learn to put the pieces together. When you have a former runner with a lot of shorts, with a media article that's going to be hyped up by Fox and other people are going to see it, um, you know, these are all good catalysts, especially into the market close, especially in this hot environment. So I don't know where this goes tomorrow. Maybe it goes up to like 5. My whole goal was just in the mid 4s. So it's already achieved my goals. But then again, it has done this 2 green days in a row before. So this could very well happen tomorrow. We'll see. I have no expectations. I already have a solid profit. I've already taken some profits, but this is what I want you to see. Uh, Pattern recognition. There's a whole group of people out there that are like, oh, you shouldn't teach penny stocks. You shouldn't teach trading to regular people. They can't handle it. They're not going to understand it. And I'm like, well, you have your opinion and I have mine. And I think that any single person in the world can do this if they're properly trained, if they have the resources to, spot these patterns like stocks to trade, if they see them enough. Penny stocks are much simpler than other niches. So I agree 100%. Most people cannot and should not trade in Forex. Most people cannot and should not trade options. Most people cannot and should not trade stocks like Google or Amazon, these high price stocks where they have no edge whatsoever. And these algorithmic traders and these high frequency traders, these computer systems that are eventually going to take over mankind, are taking over Wall Street. And you guys watching this with your little internet connection, no matter where you are in the world, you are at a disadvantage. With stocks like EYES that the hedge funds leave alone, the high frequency traders leave alone, it's just a lot of, frankly, degenerate traders who haven't studied. 99.9% of the world refuses to study. Some people are like, oh, Tim, you're a scam. I don't want to study. And I'm like, well, what are you so afraid of with this information? What is it that I'm saying that offends you? Why is education a scam? I'm teaching patterns and rules and lessons that I've learned in over the past 18 years. I'm trying to help you. It's my job to make you a better trader. I'm trying to create more millionaires. That's how my business grows. That's how I find fulfillment. That's what I love doing because, frankly, no one's ever done it before. So ignore the education at your own risk. Ignore these patterns and miss out on these opportunities. I can't help you if you don't want to learn. If you doubt me, that's fine. Don't learn. But I will give you ample evidence to the contrary as to why I'm right and as to why, several of my top students see the exact same things that I'm seeing, and we're not even talking all day. We're not even aware of each other's movements and commentary, and it's pretty awesome that, for a while I was like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Why am I the only person who can see this? But after, nearly a decade now of teaching, I have like a dozen little disciples who can actually see this stuff on their own. And, I want more, but it takes a shitload of study and it takes a few years and it takes dedication and perseverance. So Let me know if you want to learn. You guys in the Trading Challenge had an awesome live webinar from Mark Crook, and enjoy Mark's exclusive videos and trading alerts in the challenge chat room too. Just an awesome day. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Tim Bowen. Thank you to everybody else. I'm going to go write up this watch list. It looks like we have like 25 stocks to watch tomorrow. Crazy market. I hope you guys are profiting, and if not profiting, at least learning. Thank you.